He's just like pure innocent.
He will always believe in it.
Pure innocence.
Yeah, period.
He understands the underlying
Feeling
and emotion. I mean, his
feeling.
EQ off the roof. I would love to be in his mind just to sort of try and understand sort of how he takes all that in. There is something beautiful in not having to overcomplicate, things, and just sort of like just live it more simply.
What does the holidays mean to us? And also, part 2 to that, how has Gabe's love of it influenced what it means to us?
Wonderful question.
Who's going first?
Kira's like, wonderful question that I
You can answer it.
Yeah, you
could be
first.
first.
Stacy. I mean, I think this is like a round of applause to mom and dad. I think like holidays have all right, I take it back. Holidays have always been like huge in our house. And I think something that I actually understand a lot with Gabriel is like I always enjoy the season of the holidays more than the actual day.
Yeah.
Like
that's
as
real.
much as I love Halloween Day, the entire spooky season leading up to it, watching movies and like decorating the house and all the fall leaves, that's way more exciting to me. And then the second that Halloween happens, I'm like, all right, next one. So I
it's the same thing. Yeah.
And I think for him, it was always a love of holidays and just the entire full like enjoyment of everything that it can mean to us, like has always been there because of you two.
The actual holidays themselves, like the days, they're great. It's not that they're not great, but I love the build up so much. Like that's really the most exciting part, and just the really ordinary aspects. So like, the three of us also, we're just so movies centered. If we don't watch all the movies that we want to watch, it's almost like we've failed the holiday. And like, we can unpack that at another point. But I don't mind it. I can think of worse things. But like I have, at least I can say when it comes to the recent like holiday, I consider Halloween a part of the holiday season, and so
of course it is. It's what kicks everything off.
But yes, I have such a memory, and when this ties into Gabe, where I will joke around saying that Gabe is like the Robin to my Batman a lot, and I have a memory of a couple of years ago on Halloween night watching Tim Burton's Batman after you all had gone to sleep, and Gabe and I are just sitting on the couch doing 5 minutes before 5 minutes became a thing. We're just sitting on the couch watching it, and he's like so happy watching like Halloween on Halloween night watching Batman with me, and it was just like, I don't know, like moments like that. The movies I think tend to really be like, to me, the center point of celebrating the season. I don't know, it just gets me in the feels more than anything else can. It's just like such a bonding point for the three of us.
Well, like that's all three of us have that exact thing.
Yeah, that's why he talks about the movies. Hocus Pocus, Cranks,
Yeah.
Christmas with the Cranks.
We're the same exact way.
Yeah.
There's the Dr. Jekyll part of me and the Mr. Hyde part of me when it comes to the holidays. The Dr. Jekyll part of it is that it establishes important traditions in the family that we hope, Mom and I hope, you guys will continue when and if you have families.
If
Uncle Gabe has to be established. we gotta have some kids for Uncle Gabe too. Yeah.
So there's that part of it. There's and there's the modeling. There's all the cooking and the prepping and the decorating. That mom's leading and all that kind of stuff that creates the whole aura and spirit of each particular holiday.
Yeah, you guys have built this though. I didn't mean.
I follow her lead.
Yes, I agree. I didn't mean to undercut that you are like solely responsible for.
No, I wouldn't go that far. No.
What?
Mr. Hyde part of me is saying the work, the money, the unrelenting deprived sleep.
Huh?
that's you all the time though.
No.
Why do you lose sleep?
What?
Why do you lose sleep?
It's a lot of work, like getting ready for the Christmas party here and everything. It's like the moment we wake up, with all the setting up, all the cooking, all the prepping.
I'll do it.
Whoops.
You can both lose sleep over it.
Yeah.
I want to
No,
He
but
doesn't really
all
sleep.
joking aside.
Well, you don't sleep in general.
Yeah, I want to.
No, but all joking aside, it is the tradition of it, and it is, for Gabriel, if we're bringing it sort of back to him, it's like a real important bedrock.
Yeah.
Because we know how much he enjoys it and the spirit of it. And you think I'm going to dress up like Santa? That's why. I know where you're going. But because he talks about it so much and he gets into the spirit of it, as you all do, and what have you. So that's the heart of it, I think.
Part of me, I think, will always be a little bit envious of Gabe's experience with the spirit of each holiday because I think specifically with Christmas, I think it's the biggest one because this is gonna be the second year in a row that I'm not here for Christmas, but I know there are certain traditions that are important and Gabriel gets to have that belief and love and spirit his entire life. Part of growing up, I guess, is what kind of, you were joking about it, but it's true. There's a lot of other factors go into Gabriel's always.
He's always gonna have the kid.
This circles back. I'm sorry,
But also just with that too, trick or treating. It's the same thing. He will always
get to trick or treat.
He always wants to go trick or treating. There's a beautiful part to watch.
It's over. That's it.
Oh my
It's over.
gosh. Okay.
But it circles back to what I said earlier, right? About the simplicity and the bliss of how he approaches the holidays.
So for me, the holidays have always been just the moments where you can be with your family. Yes, family. Yes. Where you're all together and you're celebrating whatever it is that you're celebrating and you're forming traditions and there's a mystery around everything that's happening. And I don't decorate like crazy all year round. I know there's plenty of holidays to do that. We do little things here and there. But from Halloween through Christmas, and that includes obviously Thanksgiving and Hanukkah, I do go all out. And every year I'll add some new things to stuff, which I'm doing again this year. And Dad's like, "Why?" Because I want to. And it's like as simple as that.
There's not enough space for me.
It's creating an atmosphere of just love and warmth and excitement, and you guys are getting older. There's a big difference between when you two, and I'm excluding Gabriel on this on purpose, when you two were 5 and 10 and 15 versus now where you're in your 20s and you're about to be 30. Your take on the holidays as they happen evolve and you grow up and it's a different feeling. Gabriel will always keep it as this beautiful, young, innocent, angelic
light.
Yeah, the holiday just is magical for him, and it will always be kid-like. Because of that, it enhances things exponentially in this house.
Yeah.
Because even though we're getting older, you still love doing those mystical, kid-like type stuff because he will always believe in it.
He's just like pure innocence.
It is.
Yeah. Pure innocence.
Yeah.
Period.
Exactly.
Period.
Yeah.
That's on
so,
business.
That's why, I go all out and it's immediate. The house transforms. His innocence is keeping that youthful, magical spirit alive. It's not that the spirit would not be here, but it takes on a different level, and he'll always keep us in that level.
And he doesn't have to deal with my arch enemy, the lights.
Oh, the string lights?
String lights.
He just
coming around.
He just has to appreciate
Tis
it.
the season.
Tis the season for your pain.
Oh, by the way,
Sorry.
By the way, just so you know, I bought more lights.
It's not time yet.
No, I bought more for Halloween to replace the other ones, so I bought it now, so we'll have it for next year. Into Thanksgiving, of course. They don't match.
What universe do you live in?
They don't match. One is really orange, one is...
See, while this is happening, I don't think Gabriel's processing this little thing that's happening between him because he just heard lights and now he's on the holiday.
Right, he's
So,
like, ho,
he's not. He
Christmas.
doesn't have to listen to this, but we do.
He's just
I'm jealous of him. Thank you. See,
talking about beyond holidays, talking about, Gabe's relation to more abstract things, specifically regarding time and just other aspects, things such as death, afterlife, heartbreak as well. You know, like any degree of grief, really, you know, in many ways, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when my mom passed, when Nana passed, I think that the one image that I play over and over and over, well, there's many of them, but this one in particular.
Wait 1 second, we're talking about Nana.
Nana.
So, I mean, there's one particular image that I play over and over. You know, if we're talking about Gabriel, when we were at the burial, you know, Nana was lowered down. I was sort of looking at Gabriel from my peripheral vision, you know, and he sort of, you know, leaned over the grave and sort of looked down and just went, bye-bye, Nana.
Oh my God.
I mean, that really sunk in. I mean, I don't know what he understood about bye-bye, Nana. Yeah, I think it'll always be a mystery, you know, in terms of what that actual ceremony meant. You know, he'll ask, and, you know, still about, you know, going to pop up at Nana's or about Nana. And, you know, we always say, you know, Nana's in the heart. I'm sure he doesn't understand, you know, the concept of death,
Right.
you know, or an afterlife. Again, these are real abstract
I tend to disagree a little bit. It's not necessarily the medical aspect of what death is. We were very careful. For us, we don't believe in explaining death as this idea of going away or going to sleep or anything like that, because that could really have an adverse effect. Like if somebody goes away on vacation, or if somebody is going to sleep, you don't want to there be repercussions. So when Nana had passed, after we had came back from telling you and then had told you because you were with Grandma, how would we explain the fact that Nana was gone? So we just went at it with straightforward. You know, we told him that Nana was very sick, you know, that she died. We used those words specifically, and that because she died, she's not here anymore.
I died.
She died, exactly.
Died.
That she would be at the cemetery, and we just explained, you know, we went to the cemetery, we said, this is where Nana will always be. This is where Nana's body is. We told him that. But Nana will always be in your heart and in your brain. That she's always with you. And that's why he always said, Nana's here, right? Where is Nana? Where is Nana?
No, you're here.
That's right, she's here. And he remembers her. You know, I remember him in the funeral home. And he seemed to do okay with it. He didn't seem, I mean, he cried at the funeral parlor. You know, he had a bout of tears for
Did
a
he
while.
really? I don't remember.
I think some people were crying and
maybe he was picking up on
and
it.
he picked up on it, and then he started crying because he's like, I miss Nana. And I remember being with him, and it was a hard moment, you know, for myself with him, because of this idea of trying to get him to I mean, we were all grieving to begin with, and now you've got a child who, you know, to understand this is going to be really, really difficult. And we had all of you. I think eventually it sunk in. He still talks about the house, like we said, as Nana and Papa.
It is their house. It's their house.
And it will always be, or when we were at the Cape. But he doesn't talk about her in the same way as he did like 5 or 6 years ago. It just comes natural to say Nana with Pop-Up's name, not because he's expecting to see her. And I think the same thing, you know, when my brother passed and Uncle Eddie had gone.
Uncle Eddie?
Uncle Eddie.
Oh.
Yeah. When that happened, because he had had the experience with Nana, it just made things a little bit easier for him to understand. And then, of course, both of them are at the same cemetery. He understands Uncle Eddie's not here. He mentions it every now and then, but not really as often as time goes on. So he knows they're not here. But what that means in terms of, there's no such thing as an afterlife, not for him.
I would love to be in his mind just to sort of try and understand sort of how he takes all that in, you know, and tries to process it and what have you. When we went to Cape Cod the first time after Nana passed and we're about to step into the cottage, there was this incredibly grand rainbow out over the bay that just formed. And take that for what you want, you know. I'm a believer there are things that, you know, cannot be explained and are what they are, and people will interpret that depending on the timing the way they want to interpret it. You know, colorful, beautiful rainbow just came out, you know, over the bay. Huge expanse and what have you, and take it for what it is. And like I said, you know, I happen to believe that there are things that happen that cannot be explained, but that have meaning, can be interpreted however you want, and maybe in that kind of instance you interpret it as being related to to Nana's passing or whatever. But just because that was such a special place for her and for the family and what have you, my sisters Pop Up and I, interpret that can interpret that in lots of different ways and think it through. That is something that's super abstract for Gabriel. I mean, he would never comprehend and put those kinds of things together and what have you. He just simply understands it as Nana's not here anymore. Again, it brings me back to the circle that maybe there is something beautiful in not having to overthink or I can't even articulate the words, overcomplicate things, and just sort of like just live it more simply.
No, I agree.
I agree.
And that's what he does.
Yeah, I mean, he misses her and he loves her, but his grieving process is very different. And for a number of us where grieving can be very difficult, for him, he's able to process things differently, and it's not going to, I guess it's not going to stand in his way of just going on his daily life. And things are just beautiful.
Well, Kira and I are thinking the same thing. Again, these are all, abstract and, complex things we're talking about. But, Gabriel just reached out to grab my hand,
Just held on.
And just held on
because he feels something.
Because he grasps and understands something here, and maybe maybe that's something we're going to be talking about. He understands the underlying
feeling
and emotion. I mean, his EQ is like off the roof.
Well, that's what I was actually, before going into that, I was going to say, on the other side of it, his relation to just feeling for other people when they are grieving. I mean, over this last year,
he was very cognizant of
Whatever.
as he leaves, he's like, I don't want to be a part of this conversation.
he will be back.